Order. Welcome to our July 5th council meeting. After the Pledge of Allegiance, we're going to take a minute and have a moment of silence for the 7 lives that were lost over the July 4th in Highland Park, Illinois, by some senseless coward. Once again, we see this same act across our nation. It's very frustrating on a day that we get together to celebrate our nation, our veterans, and all that we have to be thankful for. We have these individuals that give those of us who love firearms a bad name, and it's very unfortunate for this nation. I hope, and I'd have to thank the police work in capturing this individual, but I would hope that he gets what he deserves, if that can even be imaginable. So with that, will you please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance in a moment of silence? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you for that. Matt, roll call.
Councilor Robinson.
Here.
Demas.
Here.
Zadi.
Here.
Hickerson.
Here.
West.
Here.
Savage.
Here.
Batolo.
Here.
Halter.
Here.
Mayor Como.
Here, Councilor's first order of business, I would entertain a motion to approve the revised agenda that you have before you here tonight.
So moved, Your Honor.
We do have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second's been called. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, councilors, I'd also entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the city council meeting minute of June 21st, 2021. I'm sorry.
So moved, Your Honor.
We do have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second's been called. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we're already into petitions. I would ask if there's anyone here tonight wishing to address the city council on any issue whatsoever. This is your time to do so. Anyone?
Your Honor,
Councilman Zadi.
just seeing how we don't have any, I just want to express my disappointment in that we have on the agenda a vote for another specific purpose tax, that there are members in the community that have been quite vocal about it, and yet no one in the chambers to come up and talk about it. It's very disappointing. When we see issues like this come up that are really vitally important to the city, we get nobody. Yet when I don't want to say it.
You're going to say
I'm
it.
going to say it. And it's not to discount those who are in favor of chickens or anything, but we get a house full of people for and against.
Yeah.
To me, it's just very disheartening when I see that happening. I just wish more people would be involved in their government and their community. So,
Councilor Zadi, I couldn't agree more. But don't feel that those decisions won't be hashed out over social media. So, yeah, it's very unfortunate that we go through all that work and have the opportunity for the public to get up and speak after numerous ongoing discussions, knowing that it was coming before not only the Board of County Commissioners, but the cities as well. And to my recollection from watching the meeting, I don't think there was one person at the county that stood up and said anything. So, yeah, I can appreciate that. Anyone else? Petitions? Hearing none. going to close the petition section, and we're going to move right into council committee and board reports. Councilors, we have one item, the Main Street Board meeting minutes of June 13th, 2022. I would ask, are there any others that wish to come forward at this time? Hearing none, council, I would entertain a motion to approve the council committee and board reports and place on file.
So moved, Your Honor.
We do have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second's been called. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Moving on to correspondence, councilors, we have one item under correspondence. If there's no questions, I would entertain a motion to approve the correspondence and place on file.
So moved, Your Honor.
We do have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second's been called. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Moving on to bills and claims, councilors, we have three items. Item number one being the bills and claims for June 30th, 2022. What's your pleasure?
Your Honor,
Councilwoman Demus?
I make a motion to approve the bills and claims for June 30th, 2022.
We do have a motion to approve the bills and claims for June 30th, 2022. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second's been called. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number two, which was added to your agenda, are the bills and claims for July 5th, 2022. Councilors, what's your pleasure?
Your Honor,
Councilwoman Demus?
I make a motion to approve the bills and claims for July 5th, 2022.
We do have a motion to approve the bills and claims for July 5th, 2022. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second's been called. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And item number three are the salaries for June 22nd, 2022. Councilors, what's your pleasure?
Your Honor,
Councilwoman Demus?
I make a motion to approve the salaries for June 22nd, 2022.
And we do have a motion to approve the salaries for June 22nd, 2022. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second's been called. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, moving on to new business. We have 11 items under new business, councilors. Item number one is a recommendation from Tegler and Associates to switch insurance carriers from Gladfelter Claims Management to Travelers Insurance and Cowbell to realize significant premium savings. Councilors, what's your pleasure?
Your Honor.
Councilman Zadi?
I'd move to approve. And I did email John over at Tegler, and I requested a copy of the Cowbell cyber policies. I'm not familiar with the company. It's one that's fairly new. I represent it as well, but haven't seen their coverage form. I did review it, and it looks like a good form. Another issue is that when I was talking with John, is Travelers would have offered cyber as well, but they declined because we don't have multi-factor authentication for Rock Springs. And I think that is something that we need to start consider moving forward and doing, because there are going to be carriers, and I wouldn't be surprised if Cowbell in the next little bit starts to require that that be in place as well for the cyber liability. It's for the security of the city, the data and information that we have in our system. I know it's going to cost some money, and it's going to change for a lot of people who don't like to use computers and mess with everything, and a large staff that we have. But I do think it's going to become a necessity that we get that in place. So it's just something as council we need to think of as we move forward. So with that, I approve recommendation.
We do have was that a motion and a second?
Motion.
Oh, do we have a second?
Second.
Second's been called. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, item number two is a request from Engineering Operations and Public Services Department for permission to fill a vacant building maintenance mechanic 1 or 2 position in the building maintenance division. Councilors, what's your pleasure?
Your Honor,
Councilwoman Demus?
I make a motion to approve this request.
We do have a motion to honor this request. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second's been called. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number three is a request from the Engineering Operations and Public Services Department for permission to fill a vacant water system operator 1 position in the water division. Councilors, what's your pleasure?
Your Honor, I move to approve this request.
We do have a motion to honor this request. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second's been called. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 4 is a request from the Engineering Operations and Public Services Department for permission to bid the 2022 concrete replacement Phase 2 and the 2022 crack sealing Phase 2 projects. Counselors, what's your pleasure?
Your Honor,
Councilman Halter?
move to approve that request.
We do have a motion to honor this request. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second's been called. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 5 is a request from Engineering and Operations and Public Services Department for approval of a quote with Rebuild It Services Group to replace a drive unit on a clarifier at the water reclamation facility in the amount of $56,160. Counselors, what's your pleasure?
Your Honor,
Councilman Savage?
I move to approve this request.
We do have a motion to approve this request. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second's been called. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 6 is a request from the Fire Department for permission to apply for a YDOT ARPA radio grant to replace radios that are past factory support. Counselors, what's your pleasure?
Your Honor,
Councilman Batolo?
move to approve this request.
We do have a motion to approve this request. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second's been called. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item 7 is a request from the Police Department for permission to apply for the Edward Byrne Justice Assistance Grant Program 2022 to collaborate with Police Consulting Services to develop and maintain policies and training in the amount of $15,427. Counselors, what's your pleasure?
Your Honor,
Councilwoman Demus?
I make a motion to approve this request.
We do have a motion to approve this request. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second's been called. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 8 is a request from Lynn Pie Incorporated doing business as Bomber Sports Bar for 16 liquor catering permits for the Sweetwater Downs horse races on August 20th through the 21st, 27th through the 28th, September 3rd through the 4th, 9th through the 11th, 16th through the 18th, 24th through the 25th, and October 1st through the 2nd of 2022 from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the Sweetwater Events Complex. Councilors, what's your pleasure?
Your Honor,
Councilman Batolo?
move to approve this request.
We do have a motion to honor this request. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second's been called. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 9 is a request from Santa Fe Trail Incorporated for 2 liquor catering permits for the Red Desert Roundup Rodeo VIP booth on July 29th through the 30th, 2022 from 4 p.m. to midnight at the Sweetwater Events Complex. Counselors, what's your pleasure?
Your Honor,
Councilwoman Demus?
I make a motion to approve this request.
We do have a motion to approve this request. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second's been called. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 10 is a request from the Sweetwater Dirt Racing Alliance for 4 malt beverage permits on August 12th through the 13th, 2022, and September 2nd through the 3rd, 2022, from 5 p.m. to midnight at the dirt racing track. Counselors, what's your pleasure?
Your Honor,
Mr. President,
approve this request.
we do have a motion to approve this request. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second's been called. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And item number 11 is a request from the Poor House to extend their serving area for the annual Ride for the Patch event, July 30th, 2022, from 9 a.m. until regular bar closing hours. Counselors, what's your pleasure?
Your Honor,
Councilman Batolo?
move to approve this request.
We do have a motion to honor this request. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second's been called. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Moving on to resolutions, councilors, we have 12. Item number 1, Resolution 2022-84.
A resolution accepting and approving an Amendment 1 to the grant award agreement between Wyoming Office of Homeland Security and City of Rock Springs, and authorizing Timothy A. Como as mayor of the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming, and Matthew L. McBurnett as city clerk of the City of Rock Springs to execute said Amendment 1 on behalf of said city.
Counselors, what's your pleasure?
Your Honor,
Councilman Savage?
I move to approve Resolution 2022-84, but I also wanted to commend Dave on the fireworks. I forgot to say that earlier, so I took this opportunity. It was really good. It seemed there was more color, but it was quieter. Was that an intentional decision?
Because you
Inflation.
voted against it. We tamped it down because you
Yeah,
voted
we-
against it.
We
Voting
tamped
against
it down.
noise?
We approved them on the condition that they would not be noisy, so dogs would not be
I know,
affected.
it's the dogs and the PTSD. That was always my problem with them. It was just coincidence.
Your Honor, Counselor Savage, I'm not aware that there was any,
Less
any
boom.
change in that, so.
Maybe it's just me going
I
deaf.
think it was the wind.
It might be up here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, they were great. Thank you.
Could it be an age thing?
Absolutely.
What was that?
Anyway, they
Okay,
were good.
we do have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second's been called. Roll call.
Counselor Demas,
Yes.
Zadi,
Yes.
Hickerson,
Yes.
West,
Yes.
Savage,
Yes.
Batolo,
Yes.
Halter,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Mayor Como.
Yes. Item number 2, Resolution 2022-85.
A resolution accepting and approving a service agreement between the City of Rock Springs and Rock Springs Young at Heart, and authorizing Timothy A. Como as mayor of the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming, and Matthew L. McBurnett as city clerk of the City of Rock Springs to execute said agreement on behalf of said city.
Counselors, what's your pleasure?
Your Honor,
Councilwoman Demas.
I make a motion to approve Resolution 2022-85.
We do have a motion to approve Resolution 2022-85. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second's been called. Roll call.
Counselor Zadi,
Yes.
Hickerson,
Yes.
West,
Yes.
Savage,
Yes.
Batolo,
Yes.
Halter,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Demas,
Yes.
Mayor Como.
Yes. Item number 3, Resolution 2022-86.
A resolution accepting and approving a job description for the position of part-time receptionist for the Parks and Recreation Department of the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming at pay grade 14.
Counselors, what's your pleasure?
Your Honor,
Councilman Batolo?
move to approve Resolution 2022-86.
We do have a motion to approve Resolution 2022-86. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second's called. Roll call.
Counselor Hickerson,
Yes.
West,
Yes.
Savage,
Yes.
Batolo,
Yes.
Halter,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Demas,
Yes.
Zadi,
Yes.
Mayor Como.
Yes. Item number 4, Resolution 2022-87.
A resolution accepting and approving a job description for the position of part-time custodian for the Parks and Recreation Department of the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming at pay grade 14.
Counselors, what's your pleasure?
Your Honor,
Mr. President,
move to approve Resolution 2022-87.
we do have a motion to approve Resolution 2022-87. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second's called. Roll call.
Counselor West,
Yes, and I just want to comment on these. It looks like we're creating a plethora of positions, but a lot of these are just getting them on the pay grade or the pay scale because they haven't been. So as far as the press is concerned, I just wanted to clarify that. But yes.
Savage,
Yes.
Batolo,
Yes.
Halter,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Demas,
Yes.
Zadi,
Yes.
Hickerson,
Yes.
Mayor Como.
Yes. Item number 5 is Resolution 2022-88.
A resolution accepting and approving a job description for the position of seasonal ice arena staff 1 for the Parks and Recreation Department of the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming at pay grade 14.
Counselors, what's your pleasure?
Your Honor,
Councilwoman Demas.
I make a motion to approve Resolution 2022-88.
We do have a motion to approve Resolution 2022-88. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second's been called. Roll call.
Counselor Savage,
Yes.
Batolo,
Yes.
Halter,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Demas,
Yes.
Zadi,
Yes.
Hickerson,
Yes.
West,
Yes.
Mayor Como.
Yes. Item number 6, Resolution 2022-89.
A resolution accepting a job description for the position of seasonal ice arena staff 2 for the Parks and Recreation Department of the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming at pay grade 17.
Counselors, what's your pleasure?
Your Honor,
Councilman Batolo?
move to approve Resolution 2022-89.
We do have a motion to approve Resolution 2022-89. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second's been called. Roll call.
Counselor Batolo,
Yes.
Halter,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Demus,
Yes.
Zadi,
Yes.
Hickerson,
Yes.
West,
Yes.
Savage,
Yes.
Mayor Como.
Yes. Item number 7, Resolution 2022-90.
A resolution accepting and approving a job description for the position of part-time or seasonal Rec Aid 1 for the Parks and Recreation Department of the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming at pay grade 14.
Counselors, what's your pleasure?
Your Honor,
Councilman Savage?
I move to approve Resolution 2022-90.
We do have a motion to approve Resolution 2022-90. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second's been called. Roll call.
Counselor Halter,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Demus,
Yes.
Zadi,
Yes.
Hickerson,
Yes.
West,
Yes.
Savage,
Yes.
Batolo,
Yes.
Mayor Como.
Yes. Item number 8, Resolution 2022-91.
A resolution accepting and approving a job description for the position of part-time or seasonal Rec Aid 2 for the Parks and Recreation Department of the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming at pay grade 17.
Council, what's your pleasure?
Your Honor,
Mr. President?
move to approve Resolution 2022-91.
We do have a motion to approve Resolution 2022-91. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second's been called. Roll call.
Counselor Robinson,
Yes.
Demus,
Yes.
Zadi,
Yes.
Hickerson,
Yes.
West,
Yes.
Savage,
Yes.
Batolo,
Yes.
Halter,
Yes.
Mayor Como.
Yes. Item number 9, Resolution 2022-92.
A resolution accepting and approving a grant award of $1,000 from the Wyoming Community Foundation for the Rock Springs Civic Center Summer Science Program and authorizing Timothy A. Como as mayor of the city of Rock Springs and Matthew L. McBurnett as city clerk of the city of Rock Springs to execute said grant award agreement on behalf of the city.
Councilors, what's your pleasure?
Your Honor,
Councilwoman Demus?
I make a motion to approve Resolution 2022-92.
We do have a motion to approve Resolution 2022-92. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second called. Roll call.
Counselor Demus,
Yes.
Zadi,
Yes.
Hickerson,
Yes.
West,
Yes.
Savage,
Yes.
Batolo,
Yes.
Halter,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Mayor Como.
Yes. Item number 10, Resolution 2022-93.
A resolution accepting and approving an advertising contract between the Sweetwater County Transit Authority and the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming, and authorizing Timothy A. Como as mayor of the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming, and Matthew L. McBurnett as city clerk of the City of Rock Springs to execute said contract on behalf of the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming.
Councilors, what's your pleasure?
Your Honor,
Mr. President?
move to approve Resolution 2022-93.
We do have a motion to approve Resolution 2022-93. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second's been called. Roll call.
Counselor Zadi,
Yes.
Hickerson,
Yes.
West,
Yes.
Savage,
Yes.
Batolo,
Yes.
Halter,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Demus,
Abstain because I'm on this board.
Mayor Como.
Yes, and I appreciate the opportunity to continue to do this. I think it makes an impact and definitely worth our investment. Item number 11, Resolution 2022-94.
A resolution accepting and approving a service contract with Sweetwater County Transit Authority and authorizing Timothy A. Como as mayor of the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming, and Matthew L. McBurnett as city clerk of the City of Rock Springs to execute said agreement on behalf of said city.
Councilors, what's your pleasure?
Your Honor,
Councilman Patolo?
move to approve Resolution 2022-94.
We do have a motion to approve Resolution 2022-94. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second's called. Roll call.
Counselor Hickerson,
Yes.
West,
Yes.
Savage,
Yes.
Patolo,
Yes.
Halter,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Demus,
Abstain.
Zadi,
Yes.
Mayor Como.
Yes. And item number 12, Resolution 2022-95.
A resolution approving the proposition for imposition of a 1% specific purpose sales and use tax in Sweetwater County, Wyoming. Said proposition to be placed on the ballot at an election to be held on Tuesday, November 8th, 2022.
Counselors, what's your pleasure?
Your Honor,
Councilman Robinson.
I would make a motion that we accept Resolution 2022-95.
Counselors, we do have a motion to accept Resolution 2022-95. Do we have a second?
Your Honor?
Councilman
Just
Zadi?
a question, if I could, at the second, I guess. Do we know what the plan is moving forward in, we say, educating or marketing this to the public? It was my understanding that the organization we hired to do the survey was supposed to do some educational material and that I don't believe that really ever materialized. Maybe it did a little bit, but I still believe the public is really in the dark about this tax and separating it from the last one. What is the plan moving forward?
I would defer that to Councilor Robinson, our liaison on the committee. Maybe, Tim, you can give us an idea of what your thoughts are.
There are, it's in the works at several local entities, primarily through those with financial interests will be putting together a pack to go forward with this. I believe the Chamber of Commerce, I hope I'm not speaking out of turn, Chamber of Commerce, the Sweetwater Economic Board, and the Travel and Tourism will be working together on this and putting something together to educate the community.
When you say Sweetwater Economic Board, are you talking SCDC?
I believe so. That was my understanding. Again, I don't have that in front of me, so I'd have to check some emails, but I believe that was the plan.
That would make sense, Councilor Robinson, but it must be early in the stages. We have not heard that. Councilor West and myself do serve on that board. It would make sense, and I'm sure that is what the plan would be. And I would hope that would be the case, because I would have to agree. I think there's some people out there, and I'm hoping it's the vocal minority that still consider this the general purpose tax that they're.
Yeah, I believe at this point in the process, it's going to be very, very challenging to change many minds. I think that at this
Right.
point, most people have kind of made up their mind.
Well, I hear it
Or there may be
continuously.
some that are just undecided
Yeah.
that need to be swayed one way or the other. We're pulling this forward at a pretty troubling time financially for everybody, and I understand all the concerns about that. But I think that this is a case where by not moving forward and at least giving a shot, we'd be cutting off our nose to spite our face. All of these projects that we're looking at completing with this income are needed in all the communities, and the prices of them just continue to skyrocket.
Right.
And the longer we wait, the more expensive it's going to be in the future. And unfortunately, if some of these projects aren't completed, there'll be services that people will have to pay more for, or that may just be eliminated completely. And I don't think that's good for the long-term future of Sweetwater County, especially when it comes to bringing in new businesses, new industry, and new residents.
Well, Councilor Robinson, I think you're exactly right. And I think there's a big misnomer. First off, that these elected officials, the Board of County Commissioners and this city council is actually making this decision to go forward with these projects and this tax, and that is not the case. What we're trying to do here is to be able to make a vote to vote or not support the idea of it going before the voters. And the voters deserve that opportunity to make a decision, take a look at what the projects are, and ultimately make that decision. And that's what this vote is all about. We've heard it time and time again. We just voted that tax down. What are they doing now? Trying to backdoor this again? It is not the general purpose tax. This is very specific. The committee, this governing body, as well as the others, spend a lot of time putting together projects with our staff. They're specific projects with a cost associated with each and every one of them. Therefore, the specific purpose tax, not the general purpose tax. That just, I just can't stress that enough because I hear that continuously. And thus, Councillor Zotti's comment about the need for further education, I think is very important.
And I will get the timeline on that process tomorrow from Commissioner Shanefield and get it to everybody's just so there is a little bit more clarity because I'm not clear on it.
Thank you.
Okay,
Got a comment if I could, Your Honor.
Mr. President?
It's no secret how I feel about it, but for some reason today, Commissioner Wendling stated that I'm using this as just some campaign motive, which I think is a ridiculous comment. This has nothing to do with seeking other office or anything of that nature. It's doing what I believe is best for, Rock Springs certainly, but also the county and what I think the constituents represent. I think it was a loud slam dunk with the general purpose tax, and are they different? Absolutely. But from my perspective and serving on the committee, I view it differently. I view it, similar to what we did with the pandemic when it came through, and we delayed it because it just didn't feel like the right time. People were going through kind of an unknown territory at that time, and I don't think that's necessarily changed with record high inflation. So my fear, like I've stated all along, is that if it gets voted down again, it's probably toast. And while I don't think anyone would question the need of any project in any community, I fear that we're going to lose it because we've abused it. So that's been my position all along, and I just wanted to clarify that, and I will continue to vote that way tonight. Thank you.
Your Honor. Question?
First question, you're seeking another office? Councilman Batolo.
What is the intention as far as bonding is concerned?
My understanding is Rock Springs will be bonding the entire amount for Rock Springs.
Any other questions? I think we have a motion. I think we have a second by discussion. Roll call.
Councillor West,
No.
Savage,
Yes.
Patolo,
No.
Halter,
Yes.
Robinson,
Yes.
Demus,
Yes.
Zadi.
This has been a tough one for me because I do believe we need the money. I know we need the money. We need these projects done. The problem I really have is, one, echo what Councilor West said. Two, we still don't have a plan on how we're going to get this out to the public. And to me, that is extremely frustrating when we have something as vital as this that's out there. And I think we lost a lot of trust from the public on the last one. We're going at it again, and we still don't have a plan in place. So we don't know what we're voting for and how we're going to promote this, is how this is going to work. And from what I'm hearing from everybody, this is going to be a tough one to pass. And up until right now, I don't know how I was going to vote on this, but the more I think about it, and I've been against it from the beginning because of the way it was brought out. I support the specific purpose tax. It's specific, it's defined for projects. It's a set amount of time. It's what the general purpose tax from last year wasn't. But again, the way this all played out from the beginning with the general purpose tax, I can't support it. So no.
Hickerson,
Yes.
Mayor Como.
Yes, I believe we're up 6-3. I just would like to commend and thank Councilor Robinson. I know this has been a rough road, and the rest of the city council. We obviously been through some very frustrating discussions with the entire group, and I don't think there's anyone in here that would question the fact that these projects are needed. It's not a question. I've spoken to just about all of you, and I've never once heard that these projects aren't needed. It's always been the process and it's been the timing. What's led me in this direction is I support the projects. I understand after being out in the field with department heads and speaking with our department heads, as you have, that the infrastructure is failing. It's old. And as we kick the can down the road, it's going to just continue to get more expensive, as I think Councilor Robinson said. So yes, I clearly understand it. I believe we're all on the same page, and we'll see how this plays out. But I couldn't disagree with any of you who have either voted yes or no, because I clearly agree with both sides in this. It's been stressful.
Your Honor,
Councilman Robinson.
I appreciate the words, but I wouldn't have been able to get nearly as far as I was if it hadn't been for Councilman West. He provided me with just a ton of information that he had gotten while he was serving on the committee. And I understood his, and I respect his decision to bow out of the committee based on his personal views of it. So I just wanted to make sure that was known.
Yes,
Appreciate
and
that, but you came in at a rough time. So
you did.
job well
You did
done.
on more than one.
Trial
How's
by
that
combat.
ambulance going? How's that ambulance going?
I echo that. Tim
But-
has done a hell of a job.
And I didn't hear that at the meeting, but I can tell you after knowing Councilman West, he's stood his ground from the get-go. We've understood. We've talked about it. So to use it for a political ploy is not the case. Whether he was running for re-election for the city council or not, we knew up front how he felt. So appreciate that. But with that, councilors, one other thing I'd like to say is a big thank you to the Chamber of Commerce for their first Patriots Parade. I think they were expecting 30, 35 floats. We ended up with 90, I heard.
Yeah.
It was crazy. There were a lot of people out. Some tweaks to be made, including length of street, but it was good. It was nice to see everybody out. In my own mind, people were excited to be out and celebrating their country and their freedom and everything else, and it was nice to see those people out. So with that, I thank all the city staff and the chamber staff for making it happen, and look forward to some safe activities. At the beginning of our meeting, we had a short moment of silence over catastrophes that take place around the country, and by all means, it could very well be our own. You never know where one of these people are going to show up. Stay safe, be diligent, watch your surroundings, and by all means, if you see something suspicious, report it. And hopefully we won't have to continue putting up with this depressing situation in our nation. Council, with no further business to come before this governing body, this meeting is